Welcome back everybody for another episode of the How Powerful series, and today we have the first Jujutsu Kaisen video on this channel. Now first, spoilers ahead, click on the next video or go watch something else if you don't want it spoiled. The anime and manga are both well past the character I'll be discussing, so go catch up. That being said, let's talk disaster, specifically eruptions and volcanoes. Throughout human history, we have multiple examples of sudden but calamitous events and the display of power from nature. In 79 AD, Mount Vesuvius erupted, spewing smoke, ash, and toxic gas bars into the surrounding area we know as Pompeii. Studies confirmed that the residents were caught completely unprepared and were literally smothered in their sleep by volcanic ash and gases, some cases basically petrified in the volcanic fallout. These things, disasters, impending doom outside of our control and understanding, imprint themselves in humanity as seeds of fear, and this fear gives birth to our character for today, Jogo, the disaster-cursed spirit. Now for those that don't know, cursed spirits are born from the emotions of human beings, making them living embodiments of the negative emotions and fear of people, and what greater fear than disaster. Jogo is, in terms of destructive ability, the strongest of the unregistered special grade curses to appear. Much like the nature of volcanoes, Jogo is quick-tempered and unpredictable. This is seen in the most obvious case when he, against Kenjaku's advice, challenged Satoru Gojo and got turned into a field trip for Yuji. Jogo's temper has without a doubt gotten him into situations where his mouth can't cash the check. But this is a deeper nod, I feel, to Jogo's actual philosophy and conviction. As stated earlier, cursed spirits are the embodiment of our emotions. Jogo's philosophy is that cursed spirits are the new evolution of humanity, being their raw, inner hidden emotions, and that they are more human than humans. And this belief, though uncommon, in anime could be seen as noble to curses and people who sympathize with them. Jogo basically even stated if he didn't get to see the world that he would be fighting for, he would still be happy. Uniquely, Jogo even mourns the loss of his comrades, showing he's more complex than a simple villain and truly does care about the other cursed spirits. And Jogo, in my opinion, represents humanity's not just fear of disaster, but also humanity's true nature that some would call wrath or anger. Jogo's quick-tempered nature is unbridled and unrestricted. He has a purpose and a cause to rally behind, something that he'd gladly give his life 1,000 times for, and in this way, he truly could be considered free by what we'd say from a human perspective. But philosophizing aside, let's talk about the real reason you clicked this video. How powerful is Jogo? In terms of power, he is quite literally a walking disaster. Having control of volcanoes and fire manipulation, this extends not only to his touch, but can be activated remotely by manifesting literal volcanoes. Jogo casually can get so heated up that the people around him spontaneously combust. This by itself, we do need to examine, because we can basically say any non-sorcerer or powerful curse would instantly get incinerated by Jogo getting a little bit pissed off. And that by itself is a significant feat. Not only is the human body mostly water, but aside from fat tissue, there isn't much that actually burns inside of us. To cremate a human body, it requires a temperature of 1600 degrees Fahrenheit for an extended time. Jogo set the entire restaurant he, Gato, and the other cursed spirits met at ablaze from a minor annoyance. And one crucial thing to look for here is, just like his actual namesake of being impending disaster, that Jogo actually triggered the response of a person in the restaurant who, well before anyone else could have even thought to do anything, got out of the building, primally sensing Jogo's lid about to blow. And back to the temperature part. We know for a fact that Jogo's output is higher than 1600 degrees Celsius, as during his battle with Sukuna, his attacks and presence melted glass, asphalt, and even the steel and buildings around them, destroying countless parts of Shibuya. We also know that Jogo is fast enough to make contact before you can react. He was possibly faster than Nayabito's Zenin, whose technique allowed him to literally move frame perfectly and was regarded as one of the fastest sorcerers alive. This technique divides 1 second into 24 frames. The user can trace a predetermined set of movements in those 24 frames and execute them at a faster rate. So for perspective, let me put it like this. If you watch a show, an anime, each still image could be considered a frame. The character starts to raise their hand, another frame, and so on, so forth. So within 1 to 24 frames, Nayabito in theory should be able to move as fast as 1/24th of a second. And in this same instance, he got dropped like burnt fries along with other high-grade sorcerers like Maki and Nanami. Now, to be fair, we can't necessarily say Jogo was able to move that fast, but he clearly has perception fast enough to instantly counter Nayabito's technique. And in regards to his abilities, Jogo shows extraordinary levels of curse energy even for a special grade curse spirit, and his overall mastery of Jujutsu and curse technique would place him in the higher tiers of the show, proving this by possessing an innate volcanic technique that proved in most cases to be a lethal blow. And though Jogo was comically matched up against the strongest sorcerers of the modern and past eras, his offensive skills are not a joke. Even Sukuna stated that had Jogo actually hit him with the maximum meteor, he would have actually sustained damage. Jogo would literally melt anyone who isn't as strong or stronger than him, and this likelihood is only multiplied when he releases his domain. Coffin of the Iron Mountain is what I feel is the inside of an active volcano or the volcanic chambers within it. The pressure and heat alone would vaporize any lesser being, and this wasn't even Jogo's sure hit ability, which if he ever got to use it, I'm assuming it would have likely been Maximum Meteor or some other insanely powerful AoE attack being unleashed and burying the enemy in molten rubble. Though Jogo's durability is often questioned, we know he can withstand blows that would incapacitate lower level curses, but he is still seen as less durable than Hanami, the nature curse spirit. Despite this suite of godly abilities, Jogo did have an obvious weakness, and it proved to be his undoing. Jogo, contrary to his nature as the series progresses, seems to give up rather quickly, but only in situations where it seems that he is truly outmatched. After his battle with Gojo, I noticed Jogo never really had another showdown that didn't involve intense planning and trickery, though when your opponent's Gojo, I think anything goes. We see in his battle with Sukuna, Jogo doesn't even attempt to expand his domain, fearing and assuming that Sukuna's would be the more well-developed one and win out in the clash. And Sukuna even tells him that that habit of putting himself in a box is likely why he lost, but still gives Jogo the title of strong. And it's really a shame we never actually got to see Jogo fight anyone else, because it was obvious he stood in the upper tiers of the series. In the end, we know Jogo fell to Sukuna after, in my opinion, not truly giving it his all, but nonetheless, in wrapping up, I hope you guys enjoyed the first Jujutsu Kaisen video on the channel, and there'll be many more to come. Let me know what you thought and who you want me to analyze next in the comments, and remember, stay safe and stay sane.